So this is my, one of the things about 30 years ago, not that I'm old, but I've been around for at least 30 years. So this buddy of mine, we shared an office. He was a math geek. And during his lunch breaks, he'd make these Mandelbrats on his computer screen that did all neat stuff. And anyways, we started talking one day about different math designs and stuff, and he showed me a Mobius strip. So this is a piece of paper. It's got two sides, 4 edges. You take this strip and put it together like this, end up with a cylinder, right? So if you take the same strip of paper and twist it 180 degrees and put some tape on it, you end up with this Mobius strip. I'd put some tape on here. So I went from something that had 4 edges and 2 faces to something that has 1 edge and 1 face. What are you saying? So there's this, if you follow around here, you go around twice and you come back to the same spot. This has only got 1 face and 1 edge. You can follow this edge around and you'll come back to the same spot. So what's neat about this is there's no inside, there's no outside, because the inside becomes outside, the right becomes left, and left becomes right. And it's kind of like, man, that's almost another dimension, because it's things that you think are very linear are infinite, okay? So I thought, well, shoot, I remembered that, and I was doing some wood carving, and I thought, well, I can try to reproduce that. And so this is a Mobius made out of wood. This is cherry. If you go around here, you come back to the same spot. You go around twice. This twists 180 degrees in one loop. So it takes 2 trips to go around a 360 degree circle. And I did some reading on this, and there's this guy in England that loves working with rock. And he's got a real cool video about describing this Mobius, and this is what I call a 3D Mobius. If you look at it in cross-section, it's a triangle. And if you go around this 3 times, you come back to the same spot. So this has got 1 face and 1 edge to it. And this guy, he does this out of rock. Big, huge pieces of rock, this big. And it's just amazing that, and he incorporates rock, I don't know what you call it when you work with rock, but rock art and math. And he's got mathematical objects like this carved out of rock, which is cool. He has waterfalls going down some of them, and it's awesome. I was fascinated by M.C. Escher. So this is the M.C. Escher Mobius strip with ants going on a Mobius strip. And I don't know if you can see it very well, but the ants are all going the same way. And if you really look at the ants, this ant's going to end up in that ant's spot eventually. Even though it looks like he's upside down, he'll come around and be in that same spot. So that's his way of incorporating art and math, or woodworking, or stoneworking. Another thing that M.C. Escher did was a trefoil. And I was fascinated with this shape. I'd seen some images of it. Somebody had made some 3D image artwork out of that. So I thought, well, it'd be cool to make a trefoil. So here's a trefoil that I made out of cherry. This is a trefoil that's orthogonal, and this helped me understand how to get to this point. I started off with a picture, but the picture is flat, and woodworking is three-dimensional, so I need like 2 or 3 different views of something to be able to understand how to get there, and I couldn't find it. But this young man had this video on YouTube about how he took this orthogonal trefoil and broke it down into a grid pattern, 3 grids, one for 3 of the faces. The other 3 faces are mirror images. So it broke it down into terms that I could understand, and so he showed you how he could cut out the scrap and drill the holes in here to get this design. But this is some spalted wood. I believe it's spalted oak. It's got some neat color to it, so that's why I chose that wood. And I thought, well, shoot, if I just go straight here and round the corners, so how does this go? And I got that same pattern, so, and I rounded it instead. So here's my trefoil. And I thought, well, shoot, why don't I go back, instead of a tube, go back to a square tube, a round tube to a square tube, and came up with this trefoil made out of walnut. This trefoil is a Mobius trefoil. It's got, if you go around 4 times, it's got 1 face and 1 edge. You come back into the exact same spot. You go around each axis. It's like X, Y, Z axis. This is a part of string topology, I think, in mathematics, and it's an awesome art piece and woodworking piece. And I thought it was fun. So, anyways, and then there's a guy out there that makes wooden Nautiluses, and I thought, well, shoot, I should be able to do that. So this is my attempt at a wooden Nautilus. It's not fancy or anything, but it's basically, if you look at this, there's a wedge here. So I started with a wedge inside here, a little tiny wedge, and incrementally get bigger wedges, and they just keep on growing on top of each other. So here's a combination of artwork and biology. Basically, you see biologic phenomena that you can also do in art too. There's this Impossible Shapes web page. Anyways, this is somebody drew something like this. It was a line drawing. I thought, well, shoot, that's just a trefoil with square corners on it. So that's why I made this. This is what some people call a smoke grinder. This also has another name called trammel of Archimedes. So this goes out far, and then this goes in close, and out far, and then close. So it also, if you put a pen in here, you're drawing an ellipse. So you can change the distances on these 2 poles, so they can go out farther, and you can make this arm longer or shorter to make different shaped ellipses. So it's also called a do-nothing machine, but it does something. You can make ellipses with it, and they actually have a bigger version that you can mount a router on it, and you can sit here with the router and make route out ellipses out of plywood or something flat. MC Escher's got a lizard artwork. But anyways, today I made a lizard puzzle. I'm not going to try to put it together in the video, but all these pieces fit together into a lizard puzzle. So you want those to intersect, and all these go together to make a puzzle.
I see.
So this is something that MC Escher, this other young fellow, took MC Escher's line drawing and made it all, I don't know what the word, so everything's geometrically the same. And so I took that and then put it on my saw and cut it out to make a puzzle. No, I sell stuff. It's hard for me to sell stuff, but I'm learning. In fact, this Penrose triangle, the impossible triangle, I had made a version of it out of wood. Something impossible made possible in wood. I've sold some of these. Sold one of these with the triple nested balls to this lady. She was having a baby and she wanted a rattle, so I sold it to her. And this lady at work, she has a son that is a math wizard. He loves mathematics and engineering, and so he got one of those. If somebody wants to purchase something, I would talk to him.